It's another episode of the Bert Allen Show, and today we are chatting. Well, it's spooky season over here. We've had a lot of different films that we've been featuring, but today we're talking about an iconic one, a classic one. Halloween Ends. We're chatting with one of the stars, Michele Dawson, which this film is now available in theaters and available to stream. So my question is it over? Are we done now? Like, is this it, or are we gonna be told this is it and we're gonna see this again? I'm mostly joking. It's good to have you. So.
No, this is definitely the epic final conclusion of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode, their epic 40-year battle. This is the end of that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I feel like I'm 48. I mean, this has been going on for a minute, but
Yeah.
I think one of the things that has made this franchise so exciting really is the fact that we have had these, I don't even know how many films now, and prequels that have been done by various other directors and sort of their contribution to the universe, but really to sort of have this be it. But as I said, it's been kind of fun because we've been really waiting for this moment for this to end, and not in a bad way, but really kind of like, okay, come on, Laurie Strode, are we going to finally defeat this guy or what? So now you've been a part of this film. You have a good and a significant role. So how does it feel for you as a storyteller to have been chosen and to be a part of such an iconic franchise and universe, really?
I'm still pinching myself. I mean, to be honest, when I was cast in this, I didn't even know what the project was.
Okay.
So then when I found out that it was part of this, you know, very revered Hollywood franchise, I was just, I'm beyond myself. So I'm super excited to be a part of it. It's so cool to be anything attached with Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, she's a legend. So to get to be a part of this series and this franchise, and especially this epic final conclusion between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, dream come true.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be because really, I mean, this has been around for so long.
Yeah.
So, uh, had you seen the originals prior to? Did you watch them growing up? I mean, I would never ask an age, but I'm guessing that because I don't want to get in trouble on multiple levels. But you know what I'm saying? Like at what point did you catch on to the franchise? And did you just binge the heck out of them before this? I mean, what kind of research do we do to sort of be a part of this world?
Yeah, totally. So for me, I mean, I am a bit of a chicken. I did not actually grow up watching them. I watched very few horror movies actually growing up. But once I found out that I was going to be a part of this franchise, I jumped right in, started watching them, started right with the original. Wanted to make sure I, picked up on everything that was going to be, available to me, and had all those things to refer back to. So yeah, now I'm a huge fan and super excited.
Yeah, these are great movies. So speaking of, where did your introduction to storytelling begin as an actor? Like, where did that moment happen for you? Was it watching film, television? Did you have family that introduced you? Like, where did that moment come for you as an actor?
So for me, I'm an only child. So growing up, I was a lonely only child. Um, so that means my imagination was my friend. I lived in an older neighborhood with very few kids to play with. So I spent a lot of time with myself, with dolls and things like that, creating my own stories. I watched a lot of TV growing up, a lot of classic sitcoms. And I would watch like reruns of like Golden Girls and Gilligan's Island and things like that. And yeah, and so I always knew I wanted to be in those worlds, telling those stories in the television on screen. And it wasn't until I actually went to college that I decided to become a theater major and get more involved, because I was like, okay, if I really want to like pursue this acting career, I want to know what I'm doing. So I dove into as many performance classes as I could, and became a theater major. And the rest is history.
Yeah, and here you are starring in one of the biggest franchises, I think, in film history. I think one to at least have gotten so much attention, and sequels, and as I mentioned, prequels that have been told. So I'm very curious because you've been a part of a lot of projects. This is a big one for you, but what was that first project like for you where you had lines and you knew, like, I'm really doing this, whether it was something that got you your SAG card or just a moment where it was like it became a reality for you?
Oh, yeah. So Criminal Minds was the first TV show that I had the pleasure of working on, and it was such an incredible experience. We filmed at night, and just to see, the epic scale of things, it was my first time working on something of that size and proportion. And since it was nighttime, they had huge lights, on cranes, and it just felt very much like, like I had a little trailer and all that sort of thing. And it felt like, wow, okay, I'm doing this. Yeah, we're doing this. We're making TV. This is great.
Yeah, what a great show to get a start on
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's always those or the SVUs, where
Yeah.
actors that's sort of like a badge of honor
Yes,
to
100%.
because really those shows have been around forever. So I always like to ask that because usually it's one of those. It's like an SVU or a Criminal Minds or a CSI. That's another
Yeah.
one now where because that's really where credibility can come from on a resume and go, this person has really done a lot. Well, this is a great film. Again, it's in theaters, but also available to stream on Peacock.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. And
Yes.
I recommend watching it because if you have followed these films for any amount of time, no matter where you've jumped in, it's fun to sort of, and sad kind of in a way, to see all of these come to an end. One last question here. Again, sort of having done this for a while and been a part of certain projects, what was the initial conversation like when you told family that you were going to abandon all hope, probably in someone's perspective, and pursue acting? Like, did you have family support? Did friends support you? I always am very curious about that because the journey is different for everybody.
Oh, yeah. I have always felt very supported. To be honest, I've been very blessed in that way that from the beginning, I've always felt very supported by everyone around me, from my parents, family, friends, teachers, all of that. I've always felt very supported. If anything, so much support that I would then put pressure on myself, because I felt so supported. But, my parents always said, like, go for it. They've always been like, we didn't have dreams like that. And so they were, grateful that I had this dream of something I wanted to pursue. And so they've always been my hugest support system and biggest fans. And it was so fun because they actually got to go down to Savannah with
Okay.
me for a couple of days when we were shooting, and it was a dream come true for me. I felt like I was like making my parents proud, and I mean, isn't that what every kid kind of wants?
Oh yeah, I mean, to the core, almost to a fault, I think. And for those of us who have children too, I mean, we just want to see everybody be successful. Well, that's so cool. What a moment to share too with family to, hey,
Yeah.
come on down. We're filming one of the biggest franchises in film history, literally decades long. Come be a part of it. Pose with Michael. It's just, that's cool. Well, congratulations. All the success that you've had is very well deserved. We're excited to see what's next for you. Nothing but the best. And again, please, please, please watch this film. This is the end. So what a way to go out. No pun intended. And you did a good job. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't watched. Michele, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.